Hello and welcome to step 9. You know what to do. Open, 9, open. So in this stage what we're going to do is do a walkthrough. So the first thing I want you to do is go to the view cube and press top. And then what we do is we go up to the view tab, and where the house button is, the 3D view, if you click the pull down menu and then go to walkthrough, the user interface will change green. And you will notice that in our options bar we have perspective ticked, we have a scale at 1 to 100, which is greyed out but it doesn't matter for the moment, and then we have an offset height, and then we also have a level. Now the first thing I want you to do is change the offset to 10 meters, so 10.0, and then change the level to level 1. Once you've done that, I'd like you to go to the middle crossroads, which is around about here, and click once. And then go over to the other crossroads and click again. And now what we do is we go up to the options bar, and we're now going to change 10 meters to 30 meters. And then pretty much we'll place our spot just between these two buildings, the C-shaped building and the J-shaped building. Click here. And then from over here, click on this building here. And then we'll go just outside the drawing border and we'll change our offset to 10 meters again, and then click here. And then we go back up to our options bar, and now we're going to put 2 meters, 2.0. And if we click pretty much between our two proposed buildings here, and then here, and then here. Now once you've done that, I'd like you to press escape twice, and you will see that we have a path that's currently showing where we've selected our points. Now you might have noticed in our project browser we have a new category called walkthrough. So if we open that up and double click on it and then press WT on our keyboard and then ZA, you will see our walkthrough is highlighted on our 3D, and that our crop region in our walkthrough window is highlighted. Now if you press in negative space in the walkthrough window, you'll notice that the path has disappeared from our 3D. If we reselect the crop region, it will then reappear in our 3D. So if we go back to our 3D window and then go right up to the top and press edit walkthrough, you will notice that our path has changed with red individual key points which we can adapt and change. At the moment it's showing the very last camera that we placed. And if you zoom in a little bit, you'll see the depth of field as a huge triangle and a little blue pull circle handle. So if we select that and pull it all the way out, so it's quite far out of the view, that means our depth of field has become a lot more advanced. Now with the path still selected, so you can still see the red key points, and the walkthrough window crop region is still selected. If we go and pull individual pull handles out of the crop region, you'll notice in the 3D view that our triangle is becoming a lot bigger. So let's do a bit of a wide screen shot. Something like that. And then if we go back to our 3D walk path, you can see a little pink dot beside the camera, and you're able to move this to adjust the view. So why don't we end up looking at this lovely roof, and then if we go back to our walkthrough and try and get the whole thing in, or near enough most of it in, something like that. Okay, so now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to go through each individual keyframe, so these little red dots on our path. So to do that, we go right up to the top, and you'll see here previous keyframe. Once you select that, you will now notice that we are in a different view, and you can see it in our 3D view. So if you want, we can adjust the camera just a little bit more to spin it around so we can see more of the buildings. So the base of that building looks quite good. I'm happy with that. And then we'll go to the previous keyframe again. Let's move that so we see a bit more of this. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then previous keyframe again. Let's spin this all the way around because it's pretty much looking at nothing. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And then previous keyframe again. Let's spin that all the way around so it's looking at the curly building. That's fine. Get the nice skyscrapers in, that's great. Previous keyframe again. We're currently looking at the big tower, that's great. So we'll just pull that around. You know what, I think if we make it slightly higher, yeah, that's better, isn't it? Look at that, that's great, yeah. And then we'll make it widescreen again. So if I pull that down, make this a little bit more widescreen, that centralizes it. Let's move it just a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. And then previous keyframe. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That actually looks okay. And then previous keyframe. Okay, let's move this a little bit. So it's looking directly down the street. Yeah, perfect. Now, on the first keyframe, you'll notice that our surrounding buildings are not shown. So within the walkthrough window, if you press VG, Visibility Graphics, click any one of them, press M, so it jumps down to mass, and then tick it on, and then press OK. Our buildings have now arrived in our 3D walkthrough. Right, from here, I'd like you to reselect the crop region, go back up to Edit Walkthrough, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our 3D view, and we'll press the view cube to be on the front side, and then zoom in so we can see our individual active camera points, our keyframes. Now from here, if you go over to your options bar and select the path, and then go back into your 3D, we now have little blue dots that enable us to change the height and angles, etc. So you can lift up things a little bit more and just kind of fine-tune things a little bit. But also we can add a keyframe or remove a keyframe, but we won't do that for now because that's quite obvious. But if we go back to active camera, with the pink dot with the camera, that enables you to take it up and down. Previously in plan, you can only kind of move it left and right, but we can actually change the view of each keyframe. So if we just quickly go through them all again. So what we do is we go to the Edit Walkthrough tab and then press Next Keyframe. And then in your 3D, let's just get the camera height right. And then next keyframe again. So I think that's actually not too bad. And then next keyframe again. I actually think that's okay. No, maybe a little bit to the left. Yeah, that's fine. Next keyframe. Yeah, perfect. Next keyframe. Yeah, that's good. Next keyframe. Next keyframe. And that's fine. Okay, from here you'll notice in our options bar at the top that we have frame 300 of 300 because we're in the last keyframe. But if we press the 300 button, a new window will open, and that enables us to actually change and accelerate the speed of each particular frame keyframe. So let's say we want to change the last keyframe, keyframe number 8. We untick uniform speed, and we can either speed up the cameras or slow down the camera. So we'll go to number 8 and put 0.5. So that's half the speed. And then if we go to keyframe 3 and put in 0.5, once you've done that, press apply and then OK. Okay, from here I'd like you to close your 3D view, and then if we zoom into our last keyframe and then select the crop region, go to edit walkthrough and go right to the end to the previous keyframe. So it's keyframe 1. And then if we go down to our graphic options bar at the bottom and choose the cube, and if we put it on consistent colors, and then staying within the graphic options bar at the bottom, if we choose the shadows off and put them on. Now if we go back to our little cube in the graphic options bar and select graphic display options, and what we'll do is we'll change the background to gradient and then press OK. You'll now get a bit of a bluey haze. Now before we preview our walkthrough, I'm just going to quickly show you how to export it. So if you go to the File tab and then hover over Export, and then go to the little button at the bottom and you'll see Images and Animations. If you click that, you'll see Walkthrough. So if we click this Walkthrough button, a new window will open, and within this window you can see that we can control all the frames or individual frame ranges. So we can start at number 1, end at number 300, but also you can do frames per second. So let's just crank this up to 25, and also you will notice we have the format, and the reason why it's consistent colors is because we changed that in the graphic options bar, but we could change that to any number of visual styles. And you will notice that we can have the zoom at 78% of actual size. We can muck around with this, so you can see the dimensions. It's like a widescreen, 1920 by 1100. But for now, let's change the zoom to 100% and then press OK. And then you can save it accordingly, and you can have additional options again if you want to just double check things. But for now, we won't save it, we'll just press cancel. Okay, so let's view our walkthrough. So by doing that, we select the actual crop region, edit walkthrough, and then press play. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. So that concludes the walkthrough tutorial. So I'd like you to close the walkthrough window and do not save. And we'll see you in step 10 for some rendering options, etc.